when Chelsea played Man United, Chelsea played Arsenal, and it finished 1-1, honours even. What did you make of it, Mark?
I think it was the right result. I said in my sort of match reaction that, there might be a bit of overreaction because Liverpool won, Forest win, so the media have got to find something. So they might try and dig Arsenal out a little bit. But I think that we saw it with Everton last week with United. As a United fan, when Everton got the red card, I went, not sure about that. And people were like, what are you on about? What are you about? And I'm like, I'm experienced enough to know that going down to 10 men isn't always you think it's a positive, but actually, Chelsea before that were really playing on the front foot. And I think Arsenal was set up to exploit that space. And as soon as Chelsea go down to 10 men, they become the counter-attacking team. And I think for Arsenal, people might look at it as a missed opportunity. Personally, I think take the point, move on. And the title will be about the title winners will be about the team that wins other games, not that. So I think from Arsenal's point of view, it might be technically a missed opportunity. And Chelsea did play very well. But I don't think it's going to be a bad point in the context of things. And I thought Chelsea were good for a point. I thought Chelsea did play well. But the red card doesn't always work in your favour. And I think there was no period in that game where Arsenal were really laying siege to the Chelsea goal. So I thought a point was about right.
Yeah, it reminded me of last year when we played Man City, when we were 1-0 up and then we went down to 10 men. And literally we just for the second half, tried to hold on, made it really, really difficult for them. Got a lot of people behind the ball and then just tried to catch them on the counter. Probably not as much as what Chelsea caught us on the counter, but tried to catch them on the counter attack. And then they squeezed the goal right at the end. And it turned out to be a very, very good point for them. And I think for me as an Arsenal fan, obviously yesterday I was disappointed because you see it as a missed opportunity. Stamford Bridge, they're on form. This would have been a chance to really put one over them. But then when I wake up this morning and I think about it, I'm like, well, exactly what you said. I'm like, actually, we take a point because that point that we've taken is the point is with a rival, which, that still keeps them 6 points behind us. Right. Yeah. So, they've gained nothing on us from that game. City, as you said, they're still 5 points behind. So overall, when you look at the week that Arsenal just had, we started off straight after an international break with a North London derby. Then you got to go and play Bayern Munich, then Chelsea away. I think if you come away from that with 7 points, you can't be too down on the team. And also, especially when, I got that team sheet yesterday and all week we were we were sort of discussing on AFTV and we were saying, who do we go for? Mosquera or Hincapie? Mosquera or Hincapie? And then I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, hey, hold on, they're both playing. I'm like, where's Saliba? And, I think that showed a little bit, even though the two of them are very good players and have done well when they've come in, but they've done well when they've come in alongside either Saliba or Gabriel. The two of them first time playing together, you saw we don't normally get done by a set piece like that, and we did. So I think we take the point and get out. But Caicedo, what was he doing? I think you saw there a player, and a few of the Chelsea players, I thought Cucurella as well were guilty of it, playing a bit too much on emotions. Very good players, but they needed to settle down a bit.
Yeah, I thought I don't rate Anthony Taylor. It wasn't his worst game. People never understand this, but I felt that he booked Subamendi first, and I was like, mate, you've just let two fouls go worse than that. I think it was Cucurella and it might have been Caicedo. And I'm like, it's a London derby. Let it go a little bit. I know technically it's a yellow card, but as soon as he gives that yellow card, and I think it impacted Arsenal a bit as well, because you want to be aggressive against 11 men. Against 10 men, but you had so many players on yellow cards, they couldn't really go in for tackles because then you're down to. So I thought Anthony Taylor managed it badly, but the Caicedo red card, I've got to say, I was disappointed because it changes the complex of the game. But when I was trying to say, is that a red card? But it was, he knows exactly what he's doing. And
break someone's ankle like that.
Yeah, he did. And, I think there was a bit of did he try and win the ball? But you don't try and win the ball like that. So, look, I think from Arsenal's point of view as well, Robbie, the fact that you've got this midweek fixtures as well makes it that point even better, because if you play on Wednesday and beat Brentford, that becomes an even better point. And then Chelsea have got a couple of difficult away games, and then you've got Villa on Saturday. So the games. I think if there's a time to take a slightly disappointing draw away from home, that was the time. And ultimately, I don't think it'll be a bad point in a 38-game season.
Yeah, good win for Man United though.